What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing Monday. In today's video, guys, we're going to have a look at one of the new champions that was introduced in the game together with the Chaos Awakes. And a lot of you guys have been asking me in the comments, Skratch, where is the showcase for Gracchos? Well, we're gonna do it in today's video, guys. The champion looks like a freaking beast. The design is really badass. If you guys paid attention, basically is his head on the back of the fusion champion, right? Maybe I'm wrong on it, but it seems like it's his head. Actually, no, it's not really his head. Okay, I thought that was his head for whatever reason, but it seems like no. The dwarf failed to kill any of the demon spawns, so he ended up in picking up whatever was left from Jetney. You know, Jetney decided that she wants to have a bit of a change in fashion, and she said, you know what, I'm gonna dump this trash. So the dwarf, because was not able to kill any of the demon spawns, decided to pick it up so he looks cool, you know? Just being a bit sarcastic there, guys. Either way, I am on the test server, so I have access to the champions. Gracchos turn Drake. Now, he is a HP-based Spirit Affinity champion. With A1 attacks an enemy, will ignore 25% of the target's defense, and he will heal all allies with less than 50% HP by 10% of this champion's max HP, which overall sounds pretty good. With A2, a double hitter, or more or less, yeah, an AoE double hitter, each hit will ignore 25% of the target's defense against targets with less than 50% HP. The first hit has a 75% chance fully booked, 100% chance to land the defense down, and the second 100% chance fully booked to apply block buffs. Each hit will ignore 25% of the target's resistance against targets with less than 50% HP. So basically, it's all about attacking targets that are under 50% HP to actually activate the condition on his skill set, on the A1, on the A2. With the A3, places an increased defense buff on all allies and a block damage buff on all allies for one turn. Now, considering that this is 2025, I do not understand why the block damage is not for 2 turns. Like, Roshkat has it for 2 turns, Helicat has it for 2 turns. Like, I'm really confused by the choices here because it's not OP with 2 turns, it's trash with 1 turn. What is this? Warcaster in a legendary version that does increase defense at the same time. That would have made this champion really good for progression in clan boss for a lot of you guys out there. As it is, with 1 turn only, I cannot really say the same thing, unfortunately. With a passive, if an ally has more than 50% HP and is under any buffs placed by this champion, that ally deals 10% more damage. If an ally has less than 50% HP and it has a buff placed by this champion, will take 10% less damage. So it's pretty much as simple as that. Conditions with the HP levels on the targets increases ally HP in all battles by 28%. So basically, this could be a nice touch to boost the damage on your champions if we're talking about a Hydra clan boss, considering that we're bringing defense down and block buffs, right? But we're going to see exactly how that plays out. I quickly want to show you the gear that I have on the champion. And then I quickly want to check the fusion champion too, because I'm planning to put them together. He's going to bring the defense down, the fusion champion the weaken, and they're both going to have some fun together as friends, because I don't know why Flaria made them enemies. Either way, they are really good friends in my Hydra team, okay? So let me just quickly show you the build on the champion. Where are you hiding? So I have him on Savage, Perception, and I have a couple of pinpoint pieces. 104k HP, 2.7k defense, 247 speed, full crit rate, 275 crit damage, 346 accuracy. Keep in mind, the blessing is not active, so I do not have any additional stats from there. We're going to do that in a little bit. Then the next thing to kind of like pay attention to, no relic. The masteries are the following: offense and support. We have Master Hexer as tier 6, Helm Smasher as tier 6, Master Hexer as tier 5, sorry, on the support. Then, if I'm quickly going to check the fusion champion, let me just see where he's hiding. I just want to make sure he's not faster than than him, you know. The only thing is, can't remember if I haven't moved gear. Why can I find him? Isn't it freaking Tolin? THO game. Hello? Where are you? Vault. Okay. Come back to the collection, boy. So I will probably have to quickly equip some gear back on this champion. And I think he's on Kurosa. There we go. He's slower, which is perfect. We don't need accuracy for bosses, right? Actually, we do need accuracy for bosses, but it cannot be... yeah, we don't need it, actually. We don't need it for bosses, so we don't care about the accuracy. For a second, I thought that, wait, am I remembering it wrong? So we're going to be able to pair them together in a Hydra round, but till we get to that part, let's see what damage we can actually do with this champion. So we're going to go Dragon Slayer, stage 10, Kurosa, get out of there. And where is my freaking Charizard? Let me just quickly find him and bring him in. There we go. And we don't need her in the team. Instead, I'm trying to think who would drop the HP on the enemies by 50%. And that probably is going to be Tolin, right? I don't think he's going to do more than that. But let's actually see. So right now, I'm actually going to buff just so I can drop their HP. Tolin, you see, dropped a bit more than 50%. We do get that 10% extra damage, but check it out. So look at both of the hits from this champion. 82k, 60k, 77k, 83k. Why is that? You know, like, what is that? What is that? Just asking, because it looks really weird. Is that his damage? Like, Tolin deals double the damage with the basic skill than he does with his special skill that should ignore defense on enemies under 50% HP. And let me tell you one thing, guys. Gracchos is most likely going to be the guaranteed out of all of these champions. You know, whenever they're making these events, they are doing a Deck of Fate, a Pair of Light, or some form of a guaranteed. And they usually give us the shittest champion that they're bringing in. And guess what? Gracchos is going to be the one this time around. I'm ready to bet with you guys that Gracchos is going to be that champion. I've told you before, I've tested this champion a little bit. He really felt bad, okay? Underwhelming. And I'm not changing my opinion on the champion, but we're still going to do some testing. Maybe he will enhance the Hydra team somehow. Maybe he will do something better in there than Ugo, the epic champion, okay? And probably that something is most likely the passive giving us 10% extra damage, you know? I feel like that's pretty much it, because his damage is really trash. Like, I do want to do one more thing quickly, and let me just show you Magnar. Hope you have gear on, bad boy. Let's see the stats. 97k HP, 291 crit damage. So I have what? Almost 10k less HP on Magnar than I have on the new champion. And I have around 15 or 20% more crit damage on Magnar than on the other one. And I have a Phantom Touch as a blessing, which is based off his attack, which is going to suck for Magnar. I don't even know why I have that blessing on. But check this out. We're going in with Magnar. We've done this before in the past, guys, where we're kind of like comparing HP-based champions with Magnar. So I'm not going to buff. I'm going to go with the A1 here, actually. 127k with his A1. Not bad. And there we go with Magnar. We have 1. And we have 2. Epic champion. I mean, it seems like he deals around the same amount of damage as the other one, right? With the condition active, with the champions under 50% HP. Now only one is 2 they are under 50% HP. So let's see. Chagur, 56k, 77k on Chagur. Now he used the A1 before, which was 100k more damage, right? Yes, I know that Magnar killed the far left target with the AoE, but that's because Gracchos went in with the A1 before, right? And he attacked the target. But it seems like even though we used the A1 with Gracchos first and then the AoE, the damage is still better for Magnar. So let's do this one more time. But this time around, we're going to do it in the following way. So the condition does not apply. We are not under 50% HP. 53k, 58k, 53k, 41k. We're dropping around 30% of their HP, in some cases 25%. So if we're going to back out, we have Gracchos with 514k. Now, if I'm going to drop Gracchos and I'm just going to keep in Magnar, we dropped around 40% HP on all of the targets with Magnar. So with Gracchos, we had 519k or something like that. Magnar deals approximately 20 to 30% more damage than a Gracchos, okay? Now, if we are going to somehow perfect that condition for him and bring it down to 50% HP for him so he can actually go and do some work. Let's go to recently used first, and there you are. I need a champion to deal some damage, not too much damage, but an AoE damage that will drop them at around 50% HP. I'm just trying to think who could do that for me. Maybe two enemies, actually. Maybe two enemies rather than one. So we're going to bring Sulfurian to melt some with the HP burn. And then them together. Is my Chimar faster though? Hopefully. 262. Okay. Hopefully this will work better. I'm not sure why that Chimar is so fast. Hopefully he's still in Savage. Okay, not really under 50%. So I need somebody else instead of Chimar. Somebody that doesn't deal too much damage either. Like, I don't want to kill them, right? I just want to make it perfect for him to be at 50% HP. And I'm just trying to see how I could potentially do that. Maybe like this. Maybe like this. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So we got almost everybody under 50% HP except Venus, which has a little bit more, and this epic champion that I've just targeted with my right click. I'm not even sure how that works. But this is actually spot on. We know exactly what we can do like this. We can bring them down to 50% HP, more or less. So that's going to be as good as it gets for this champion. And now I think it's going to be even better. Yeah, like literally everybody is at 50% HP. So let's see. Can we kill them? So right now, perfect conditions for this champion. He will put block buffs. He will put defense down, which doesn't really matter as much. All that we care about is that he ignores 25% of the target's defense with every single hit right now, except this target right here that has a bit more than 50%, Liburga. 82k, 74k, 65k, 49k, and everybody survived except one of them. Really, really weak sauce. So let's see how much damage he dealt now. 600k. So even though in perfect conditions for his A2, Magnar is still doing more damage than him. Yes, Magnar has a Phantom Touch Blessing, which is not going to do nothing AoE. So you cannot argue it and say that that's the main reason for it, okay? Now, this is not really a PvP champion, no matter how you're going to try to put it. I just do not think that he's going to fit in any decent PvP teams. For Faction Wars, I think, yes, you could definitely use him in Faction Wars for the block buffs. You have all of these conditions where you gotta kill the enemies before they get a buff, or you gotta kill them while they're under no buffs, and block buffs tends to be the best thing. But then in this faction, you have Umbral Enchantress, an epic champion that can put block buffs on a 3-turn cooldown, Void Affinity, so you don't have to worry about weak hits or anything like that. So you don't really need this champion for that either, okay? Now, let's head into the Hydra clan boss, okay? I was hoping that this champion will hit hard so he can be useful for the Chimera because of the block damage and the block buffs and everything else that he brings in the kit. But his damage is just so freaking underwhelming that I do not see it happening, not even in Chimera or pretty much any other content. I'm actually going to go on Brutal, so I'm going to drop her out. I don't need Feral in this team, actually. I don't need him in this team. I don't need her either, so let's quickly rebuild a bit the team. Basically, recently used first, we have him. I'm going to bring in Tolin as well. They increase attack, and that doesn't matter from Mikage, so we can keep it on. Basically, I need a Veil. I could bring in Duchess. And I have defense down, block buffs. I have weaken. I have increased attack from multiple sources. What do I really need in this team to kind of like make it work even more smooth? It's almost like I have another room for a damage dealer in here, right? Because I'm pretty much kind of like fitting all of the roles. I could bring in another ally attack champion. We gotta provoke. I think I'm just gonna bring in Cardiel as well and just have 2 ally attack champions. I think so. Why not? If I can find him. Cardiel, where are you hiding? There we go. Okay, let's see. What sort of numbers can we get with this champion? So we are not going to use an ally attack just yet. We want to make sure we don't have that fear on. Let's use that. We will do an ally attack now. Now the problem is, of course, affinity. That can create us issues. So the dwarf is going first. Okay. They will nerf this, okay? So they will change this. When you use an ally attack and he lands all of the weaken on all of the targets, through an ally attack or a counter attack, he will not gain the extra turn anymore. So that's something to remember. 1, 2, 3, bank. So keep in mind, my Great Hall is fully maxed for the Hydra. So we are going to be close to ignore 100% of the target's defense. Wow. Was that damage 22k and 22k? 22k from a legendary champion? Is his skill set broken? Are his multipliers missing? Does he have 0 multipliers? And it's just the damage from the books? Is that what's happening? I haven't put a blessing on, but we're going to put it in a second. I just want to show you exactly what the champion is, what the champion can actually do, okay? No sugar coating or anything like that. We're just using him as he is. If he is the guaranteed, I am definitely not going to complete that event. I can tell you that for a fact. I would rather not waste the shards and just keep them for something else. It doesn't really matter what something else, anything else but this. Like, I have Ugo. The only thing that's good from this champion is basically the passive. 100k with the A1. That was decent. I'm just going to go a few turns till we are decapitating the heads. I want to see if the A2 is actually counting towards it or not. It's very hard to notice that, to be honest. So let's take this one down if we can. Okay, so now they are under 50% HP. I feel like a Kymar would have been amazing in this team right now just to help me do what I want to. So I'm going to use this. He will apply the defense down. 116k, 167k on a decapitated head, guys. Which should be under 50% HP or not. This, again, is most likely not going to count that he is under 50% HP because he is decapitated and he has high HP. So I think it will take in consideration the percentage of the HP for that condition to apply, which is kind of like... I mean, look at Tolin. Tolin deals so much better damage than this champion, right? And Tolin is not even like one of the top dogs as a damage dealer. So, yeah, man, it's wow. You know, like, as I've mentioned from the very beginning, this just doesn't look good. This just doesn't look good. 228k with the A1 skill. all in 230 plus. So we're doubling the damage almost. Let's see. Let's try to take you down if we can. If we don't do only weak hits. So we're gonna buff now. Basically, this is the best thing. But then if the mischief steals your block damage, you don't want to have block damage in the Hydra, right? It's not the best thing. And I'm not saying that every champion needs to deal crazy damage, but he doesn't bring anything else crazy to the table except the fact that he ignores defense, which is a fact that enables his damage. But he has no damage, right? So the block damage is not good for the Hydra. I do not think it's a buff that you want to have on if you are a person that struggles with the Hydra clan boss, especially progression-wise, and that's mainly because your champions are getting wrecked, is mainly because your team is not well built. You're missing the right buffs and debuffs. So if you don't have that in the team, the Hydra can potentially just become even worse for you, right? Because if they steal the block damage, spread the block damage, you're not going to deal damage versus them. A lot of things get overcomplicated with this type of buffs. If he applies the block buffs without weak hits and stuff, you don't have to worry so much about them stealing the block damage from himself, right? He could potentially boost the damage for the other damage dealers by roughly 10%. But he is really not going to bring in a lot of value to the team except that passive. Okay, and if you don't have Ugo, the epic champion, to put defense down and block buffs, then yeah, you could say that he's going to bring more value to your account. But for everyone else that kind of like has that already, he's just really not... I mean, look at that. Gracchos, 2.5 million damage. Cardiel, 2.6 million damage. Cardiel is not built in Savage. Hell no. And look at the difference. Cardiel doesn't have an AoE. Cardiel only attacks with one skill, with a basic skill, and the ally attack. Okay? And of course, it does have the passive that every now and then jumps in and attacks with an ally. But it's just crazy to see that Cardiel, a single target champion, built on protection, okay, with 4k attack. His damage is based off attack. Deals more damage than a champion with 100 plus k HP on Savage. It's crazy to see that, okay? Either way, let me just give him a blessing. So, because I'm already ignoring so much defense, there's no point to give him Crushing Rend. And I will give him a freaking relic as well, just so you guys that like to complain and say that this champion is good Skratch, but you're just shit at testing him, I'm gonna give him the relic for you guys, okay? I'm gonna give him the relic for you guys so you can actually see. So the best thing in terms of a blessing for him will be Nature's Rat, to try and maximize the damage. And that's because my Great Hall is maxed. And because I'm about to give him the Cat's Gaze too. So let's see, what is that? My god, is it equipped on somebody? They're all equipped? Yeah, give me a second to try and equip one. If I can find champions that have them on at the moment. You don't have one. You don't have one. You don't have one. Siegfried, where are you? You don't have one. Little Miss Annie. Maybe you have one. No, you don't have one. Wukong. You don't have one. What the heck are my Cat's Gaze, bro? This test server is so freaking annoying with the relics. It's bugged for months. I don't know why it's so freaking hard to just fix it, man. And don't give us all the bugs with the relics. Like, we want to try relics, we cannot because we have issues with them disappearing. I don't know if I'm just blind, but I do not see any of the Cat's Gaze anywhere. And the reason why I'm looking at these champions is because that's what I've used last time. If I click equipped, it's going to bug out. So that's why I'm not clicking equipped, guys, by the way. It's not because I don't know that I can do it. Okay, so there we go. We have one right here. Okay, let's go back to that champion. Recently used first. Let me give you a Cat's Gaze. And there you go. Bang! Look at them stats now. 113k HP, 344 crit damage. Let me just bring you this on as well. Hydra. Bang! 374 crit damage. 117k HP. We ignore almost 100% of the target's defense, okay? We have the Savage, we have the Ignore defense, we have Hammer Smasher, we have the Cat's Gaze. We're going to have defense down, so we're going to do crazy damage, or at least we should be doing crazy damage. Let's go back in. Let's go back in and see what's happening this time around. Is it going to look better, or is it not, okay? So we're going to go A1 again. We are going to do an ally attack right here, because why not? Okay, 271k with the A1. That looks a bit better. Looks a bit scary, so we're going to put the block buffs now and defense down. $22,000. 22,000 with relic stats, 6-star blessing, fully max great hall, good gear. 22,000 and 44,000. Okay, that's it. That's it. I am not saying nothing else. I am not saying nothing else. You guys can actually make your own opinion on this champion. As I've mentioned, if I'm bringing Ugo in this team, she will do the exact same thing without his passive that can boost the damage for Tolin by 10%. And for every other champion in the game, in the team, sorry. Yeah. I mean, what else can I say about him? There isn't much to say about the champion. He's shit, pardon my French, and probably that's going to be my thumbnail as well, okay? I feel like he deserves it. It's literally the best attribute that he has, you know, being shit. Pardon my French, I think I said that word quite a few times, so hopefully no kids around, guys. But yeah, it's really disappointing, to be honest with you guys. And as I've mentioned, I am expecting him to be the guaranteed one. You've seen right there, we had 360k with each one of the hits on the heads being decapitated under 50% HP. So he dealt 700k damage with a 6-star blessing, with a Cat's Gaze, with almost 120,000k HP and 370 crit damage. Okay? I mean, it's really weak. Really weak. Like, I could think about 20 different epic champions that will do more damage with this type of stats. Okay? Honestly, it's just a massive disappointment. It's just the block damage for one turn, which, as I've mentioned, is not going to be helpful anywhere for you, even in Clan Boss, unless you bring in another block damage champion. So he's just like a filler. Think about Warcaster. The only thing is he's going to bring you the defense down in the Clan Boss, boost a bit the damage by 10%. So he could potentially boost a bit the damage if you pair him with a Man-Eater, if you pair him with a Demeter, if you pair him with a different champion. But that's only early game, when you're not able to build 2-to-1 ratio teams, where champions like him with 1-turn block damage become irrelevant because the meta is so much better. That's pretty much all, guys. I'm really not going to waste more time with this champion because my time is precious. I know your time is really precious. So I feel like we've seen what we needed to see. 8.1 million damage. Tolin, 12.3 million damage with a 5-star blessing. No relic. Okay? As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.